Not to mention free refreshment.
Whoa, who are you? What the hell is happening? Where am I? When are you taking me back? Why did you kidnap me? She asked the 5 W's, Kai. Your way of recruiting needs some work. You monster!
Betty, stop! That's not Melinda.
Then who is she?
I am Melissa and I used to be your sister's apprentice.
What? That makes you a witch bitch too!
Now is the absolute worst time to fight amongst yourselves. Yeah, and Melissa's reformed. She's on our side. Set aside your rage. We need you.
Answer my questions then!
My name is Kai. I assist Chen and Ellington in keeping this planet pure and protected. Your sister's seal is slowly weakening, and when she is inevitably free, she will release another dark being named the Overlord of Evil. You are at the Well of Power, a mystic well filled with the energy of the planet where Ellington, Chen, and I reside. I cannot take you back for now. You are recruited because you are directly related to Melinda and could be the key to stopping her.
So what you're saying is you want my help in stopping my sister? Count me in.
Dreamscape, Episode 6, Confronting the Dark. Thank you. Now we must proceed to Melinda's dimension. So how do we get to the parallel universe? It's not like traveling to the underworld. First off, we must travel to the world in this universe that matches the one we want to travel to in the other universe.
Which is...
the Possessor Ghost dimension. Correct. That is where I come in. We're here, so how do we get to the parallel dimension where Melinda is sealed?
What the hell are you planning to do?
You originated from the parallel universe. I can use you to create a portal.
You're going to sacrifice me?
Not at all. I merely need to create a spirit room. It will not hurt you at all.
Whoa, what's that?
A spirit room. It's essentially your identity contained in a stone. Now prepare yourselves. I'm going to open a portal to her realm, and I have no idea what consequence may await us. So, what's the plan? Yes, we need to come up with a course of action.
That's not gonna be easy. My sister is very strong and manipulative.
You don't know the half of it.
If you are so sure of it, why don't you come up with a plan?
Sarcasm aside, you know Melinda the best, so you could come up with something. That's precisely the problem. Nothing I can come up with will work. What? But Melissa, you're like the wisest person I know.
Feeding her ego, aren't we?
And why do you think that is? Countless lifetimes of experience? That is only part of it. That experience would not have mattered had I not trained under a cunning, powerful, and evil mind.
How did you train under my sister anyway?
That is hardly any of your business.
Oh yeah, you're right. She is my sister who was sealed away after she became an evil witch that nobody bothered to tell me about because that would set her free. I should totally be left in the dark about what happened there.
Sarcasm aside, how did you train under someone who is sealed away? Please, Melissa, fill us in. We need all the information we can get so we can stop her. Alright then, only because the situation is so dire.
So glad we finally twisted your hand.
Keitran, enough. Even as a young woman, I had desire for knowledge. I wanted to know everything. Eventually, I discovered spellcasting and magic, which I immediately took a liking to. I mastered even the toughest of spells very quickly, but eventually, I became tired of the magic spellbooks offered. That's when I discovered that the world of magic had a darker side, witchcraft. As a taboo, information on it was scarce, which grabbed my interest because it left a lot to discover. I knew I would have to delve into darker territory if I wanted to obtain this knowledge. I wasn't worried. I had my vast wisdom and spells at my side. I encountered nearly every dark and dangerous creature you could imagine, but I learned very little about this dark art. That is when she, or rather, it appeared. I have never seen a spirit like it before, and I asked it why it was bound to this world. It turns out it was far more complex than that. I found myself in a strange new world, and the spirit led me to this dark castle surrounded by a barrier of darkness. It coaxed me to enter the barrier, but for some reason, it could not pass through. There I met her. She told me her possessor ghost had been watching me for quite some time. It turns out she was a lot like me. At least that is what I thought at the time. She was also on a quest for wisdom and an expert spellcaster, only she had knowledge in the dark side of magic. She told me I had phenomenal potential, and she could teach me everything I could ever wish to know. As wise as I was, there was something from my life I was missing that I had never bothered to fill. Companionship. She knew all of the right words to use and said everything I wanted to hear, offering me to be her apprentice. And I accepted. I adapted quickly, even tried to imitate her, but soon I developed my own identity, my own spells, and my own ambition. Melinda was trapped in that tower, but I wasn't. I left her. She had nothing more to teach me. At least, that's what I believed. Even still, I carried out her will to use her dark magic on the world, and I enjoyed it. I could use my superior knowledge on what I saw as inferior beings. To me, knowledge was a sign of power, and no one could surpass my knowledge. I even mastered the power of life and death, something not even Melinda could do. Of course, this was before I found out she was truly immortal. Still, even after countless lifetimes of experience, I was still missing that sense of companionship, but I was too far gone for that. Then I met Dylan, Alice, and Will, and they gave me a change of heart. After that, I swore off dark magic for good, letting go of my past. But now it has come back to haunt me.
Jokes.
She's not joking.
Of course, she never does. Anywho, seriously though, I have an idea, but it's going to sound insane.
We are simply brainstorming, so give us anything you got.
Alright, based on that origin story, it seems like if we can beat Melissa, then we stand a good chance against my sister.
You wanna use Melissa as a training dummy?
I would enjoy this plan.
Keitran, enough. Actually, Betty might be onto something. It is an intense training session if anything else. How about it, Melissa? Alright, I'll do it. However, there is the issue that Melissa has sworn off of witchcraft, so the training session will not be accurate. Just remember, you asked for this. Seer, that's a unique way to pass through my combination attack. I didn't think it would work, to be honest, but I took the chance. Sometimes taking a chance is the only option. Jeez, is saying great job a Seer too much for you or something? Also, you missed the perfect opportunity to say, can't go over it, can't go under it, can't go around it. I have to go through it. Why are you here? And a good afternoon to you, Jenna. Get lost, Nick. We're busy. And it's nice to see you, Asir. What the hell do you want? Alright, fine, jeez. You guys catch wind of this big huge thing going on? No. Jeez, it figures you guys are so out of the loop of things. Like, I bet you didn't even know about the fight between Soy and Vladimir the other day. We aren't idiotic like you are. We were there watching. Oh, didn't see you guys then. Good. Jeez, Jenna, that hurts. Well, did you ever wonder about that weird light that made them vanish before we were all kicked out? Yeah. Well, I heard through the grapevine that some evil ghost or whatever did it. And maybe that has to do with that big huge earthquake earlier? Chen. It makes sense. Did you just mention Chen? Who's that? You seriously don't know who Chen is? Asir, you're even more out of the loop as it already is. Jenna knows more than you do. I don't care. Jeez, wow, I forgot you can't take a joke. Or maybe you don't know what a joke is. Anyway, well, Chen is a guardian of the planet. He lives inside of it, and when the planet is in danger, he comes up and, like, fixes it with, like, fairies and, like, the magic of nature or something? How do you know this? The museum? How do you know about this? I wouldn't believe any of this if I saw it on the internet. I met him. Huh? No way! You're wait, you guys don't know what a joke is, so... How? He was traveling in the forest. He was invisible, and my summon spotted him. He was carrying Dylan with him, and they were in the middle of some secret mission. Why would Chen choose him? And what were they doing? She just said it was a secret, dumbass. Plus, Dylan knows better than to hide information from me. Oh, you have him at your feet. If the earthquake by Chen, does that mean this transporter ghost is the danger he's out for? I bet you it's something bigger than a ghost. Vladimir takes care of those things in his sleep. The ghost is an idiot for teleporting him. Then it's a minion for the real threat. Who could it be? I got a funny feeling we'll find that out the hard way. Damn, I feel so guilty. I don't like Keela, but I shouldn't have attacked her. Maybe I'm not as reformed as I once thought. No. Zane is right. I can't use my past as an excuse. I need to follow the same advice I gave Keela, owing up to my actions. I fucked up, and that's the way it is. Ah, jeez, not even a bloodbath can make me relax. Maybe I should try reading a book or something. Worlds of Darkness. Wow, I haven't looked through this since I was evil. I don't even remember where I got this. Who the hell is this by? Wow, it talks about the unworld? Did the Master of the Damned write this? Melinda. Wait a minute, isn't that the Possessor Ghost creator? We were sent to her dimension, but there was no evil castle, or anything for that matter. Probably got destroyed. She is the ultimate seeker of knowledge and sealed away for that ambition. I'm sure that's bullshit, but whatever. Hang on. If she was sealed away, then how the hell did I get this? Could this castle be? No, there is no way. What the? This is... How did Melinda know about this, and why did it... Is it really... Did I... Looks like it's time they knew. Vampire Lord, you popped it! What? Oh. I didn't even know you could pop one of those things. I didn't even know your teleport could do damage. Well, I can't use it as an attack. I would just appear right on top of them and it'd leave me wide open. How did you even find us? I could smell your blood. How can you smell our blood? And how can you tell the difference? And how do you even know what our blood smells like? I'm a vampire. It's one of my Hold on. That's not why I came here. Is Keela out of the hospital yet? No, not yet. Well, half of you guys will have to do, I guess. Alright, remember when I mentioned that I earned my Lord title? Well, I do now. It's time you knew how. Long ago, a deadly dark force appeared at the tallest tower in our empire. We didn't think much of it. We're evil vampires and all, so why would we be suspicious of some dark mist? Well, we should have been, because it grew stronger, left the underworld, and started spreading across the world. We thought it was some kind of eternal night, which would have been perfect for us, and, again, we did nothing about it. Then it started spreading to our world, and it caused all kinds of nasty effects. We finally decided to do something about it because it was finally our problem. The problem is, we had no idea what the hell to do, and most of us were sick, paralyzed, mind-wiped, cursed. Well, you get the idea. That's when yours truly came in. Back then, I was known as a vampire knight. In fact, I was the only one. The council ruled knights as pointless, since we have supernatural reflexes, immortality, and all sorts of powers, so why would we need to battle medieval style? However, I kinda flew under the radar, and everyone eventually forgot about vampire knights and just assumed I was some old-fashioned weirdo with no powers. Joke's on them, my armor protects me from curses. The instant I arrived, the Dark Force greeted me by wrapping me up in these magical chains or whatever, and told me it was stronger than the Unworld, which meant nothing to me at the time. My sword was extremely powerful and probably also curse resistant, since I was able to slice through those chains and bounce back its fireballs. Just for the hell of it, I decided to slash at the Force itself, and shockingly, it worked. The Force seemed to be some kind of incarnate of plagues, curses, and other viruses and stuff, and my armor and sword was the perfect counter. It was almost like I was destined for this or something. It then started throwing the Dark Force version of a temper tantrum or something, throwing whatever crap was in the tower right at me, which did squat. I finished that thing off with a few more slashes, and destroying it at the source I figured would cure everyone. And I was right. The Dark Force and all the curses it placed went away in both the underworld and the planet. For saving both vampire and humankind, I was given powers, a castle, and the title of Lord and hailed as a hero. This good deed made me feel, well, good. It turns out by defeating the ultimate darkness, I started to defeat the darkness in my heart. Wow, that's pretty cool, Vamps. Yeah, but what does it have to do with anything? What does it... Android, why does it have to do with something? Can't I not just tell you guys some story about myself? Wait, that's not why I'm here either. It has to do with my castle. I think it might be Melinda's. What? You live in a castle? Yes, Andrin, I live in a castle. You guys haven't seen it because it's in the underworld. Why do you think your castle is Melinda's? I was looking through my books, which I haven't done since I was evil, and I found one written by Melinda that mentioned, along with other stuff like the Unworld, her dark castle. Since it was written by her and she was sealed away, how would I get a hold of one of her books unless my castle was actually hers? So her castle was just sitting around in the underworld? Maybe. The castle was very far away from the Empire. So maybe if she was sealed away, or when she broke out or something, somehow, her castle was sent from her dimension to the underworld? It's a good guess, but we really need to tell Melissa and Dylan about this. I'm sure they'll be able to tell us more. Yeah, but I don't know where and how the hell to find Melissa. And who the hell knows when Human Buddy will return? Do not hold back. As you wish. Done. Alright, Drake, we are ready. Kedron, our goal was to defeat Melissa as practice, right? So I did. Funny. Kedron, if you are not going to take this seriously, then you have no place in this. Do you remember when you performed that move on the Overlord of Evil? He can't be killed, Melinda can't be killed. If she is temporarily annihilated by it, there is a strong possibility she could break her seal in that instant. Strong possibility is an understatement. Not to defend Kedron's joke or anything, but if we can't even kill Melinda, then what's the point of attacking her? It's just gonna end up like the Overlord of Evil. Just because one is unkillable doesn't mean they are undefeatable. How do you mean? Not unlike your encounter with the Overlord of Evil. This is mainly to gather information on her. And you just think you're gonna interrogate her and she'll talk willingly, right? You think you can back Melinda into a corner like you did with the Overlord of Evil? None of you have any idea what you're going to do you? You just think attacking Melinda is a good thing to do, but your strategy doesn't go beyond that.
Oh, then enlighten us on an ideal plan.
First off, Melinda is actually going to welcome your annihilation spell. She'll use that instant to break her seal wide open. No matter how hard you train, you can't kill her, and you can't permanently steal her away. The only way you could possibly defeat Melinda is to take away her powers or brainwash her. And if you think you can pull that off, then you're even more doomed than I previously thought. Alright, we can't steal her away, kill her, or wipe her from existence, and wiping her mind or negating her powers isn't something she'll have us pull off. But that doesn't mean we can't defeat her. Remember what I told you guys? When I met Melinda, we beat her, and it was enough to seal her up for a while. Even the Overlord of Evil acknowledged that. It took an entire dimension to do that, and that was when she just broke free. You honestly believe 8 people is an appropriate equal?
Well, considering that dimension was filled with such brave warriors as flying squirrels and cyborg monkeys, then why the hell not?
Not to mention she has had all of this time to acquire even more knowledge, and she's going to see us as a threat. Of course, a threat to Melinda is more like a fun challenge than a life or death struggle. Then maybe we should focus less on her powers and more on her personality. What are you getting at? If she truly has so much pride that she'll see battling us as a mere game, then we should be able to use that pride against her and catch her off guard. You really think that'll work, don't you? You honestly take my former master for a fool. It's ironic, really. You think your pride would hinder her in the battlefield when your own pride is what will get you eradicated. You haven't been paying attention to anything I've been telling you. If you were, you would realize how oblivious you sound. Melinda isn't an idiot. She has every reason to be cocky. You have to consider every outcome, thinking 5 steps ahead for each of them. And Melinda will have already figured it all out before you can even act upon them. She isn't some lumbering beast who thinks she's unstoppable with the perfect plan like the Overlord of Evil is.
Shut the fuck up. Jeez, you are so fucking annoying. You think there's no way to stop her. You think this is hopeless. You think we are a bunch of dumbasses who are on a white knight mission to our deaths. We ask you for an idea and your cocky ass goes on some cocky ass rant on how we're cocky asses against a cocky ass witch with a cocky ass plan that won't cocky ass work. Hey guys, how about we just stand here with our thumbs up our cocky asses? At least then we won't piss off your highness right here.
Whoa. Unfortunately, I can't say that your actions were entirely unnecessary, Betty.
Avoiding the double negative and just say, good job, Betty. She needed an ego check. We'll do fine.
Melissa, you're letting your frustration and fears cloud you. Mixing your emotions and your actions is a weakness greater than any dark magic could deal to you. I apologize. You're right. No matter how dangerous this is, we should at least try to stop Melinda. If we don't, we'll be just a bunch of cowards that bury our heads in the sand, hoping it'll all go away. Just know that Melinda is an opponent unlike any other. Brains always beat brawn, and her knowledge is nearly unmatched. You cannot just run in and unload all of your moves on her. You have to plan carefully and think ahead of her, and then think ahead of that.
Well, again, what about that practice round against you? Or are we just gonna gloss over that potentially really cool battle?
It's the best and most logical shot we have at the moment. Right. Just remember that annihilation or killing will not work, and I cannot hold back, because you know Melinda won't. And neither should any of you. This is really gonna suck.
What the hell are you supposed to be? Oh, I really hope you don't think that'll work. For minions of my sister's apprentice or something, you all sure are stupid. So much for her not holding back. Oh, level 2, huh? Thanks for keeping me aloft. Right into my hands, you dumb dragon. Those weird purple things put up more of a challenge. Son of a bitch! Damn it, I think this bastard shorted out my rocket boots. Maybe if I also had my arms crossed, I could shoot bullets or missiles or some shit at him. I'm not going down like this. Damn it, I didn't even think that would work. This didn't hurt like a bitch. Shit.
I must admit, your strategy to escape with your life was very clever, but also very foolish. When in a life or death situation, you must be willing to try anything to survive. After all, what have you got to lose? Other than your very existence, of course. But what happens if you risk too much? Assuming you even survive, that risk could ruin your life forever. Meaning you might as well have died in the first place.
Are you going to fight me or just give me a pseudo-philosophical lecture?
I am giving you battle advice. You are going to need every bit of knowledge I share with you if you are going to fight against your sister.
Okay, I get it. If you are about to die, make risky choices, but don't risk it all. Otherwise your life could be worse than the death you narrowly avoided. We done here? What a bitch.
Let's see if I remember how to fight. Good thing there are so many of us around here, which forms a large concentration of natural energy, especially Chen. Although for you monsters, it's certainly not. I expected defeating you monsters wasn't going to be that easy. Looks like I do remember how to fight. You should be challenging. That is not going to work. Here we go. Well done, but you cannot always rely on others in a battle. You utilize the natural energy of your allies to strengthen your powers. But if you were all alone, would you still be able to defeat that dragon? Perhaps not, but I was chosen to monitor the state of the planet and am the personal owner of the embodiment of the planet itself. Be careful belittling my power. Everything past perhaps not means nothing to me. If you could not beat that dragon, then you would stand no chance against Melinda. Well, everything you just said means nothing to me, because it was firmly established we would be working as a team to fight her. My critiques do not just apply to this upcoming fight. I rarely ever fight. Well, that's about to change very quick.
This calls for a more appropriate form. Was that all? Oh, a dragon. Well, I guess the fun part's over now. If you think that is enough to hide from me, you are sadly mistaken. Welcome back. You can have this back. I made it better. Hold up. Let me take my preferred form when dealing with you. Your power is grand, not only in the realm of holy magic, but dark magic especially. Yes, I often don't get to enjoy using dark magic. The pressure of having to use goody two-shoes magic over magic that is actually interesting just because you are a benevolent creature sometimes just makes the job boring, my dear. But that attitude of yours means a lot of that power goes to waste. Pleasure to meet you, Pot. My name is Kettle.
That is exactly what I'm referring to. Your position of power in this world is wasted with a devil-may-care attitude like that.
Oh, I do apologize if I shattered your worldview of holy magical beings. Not all of us can be as cool as Drake, as serene as Elinen, or as focused as Kai.
You need to take your duty as a divine frequencer of the wicked seriously. If you approach trouble with a mindset that isn't ready to treat it like a threat, the consequences could be dire for you, your allies, and existence itself. Because Melinda doesn't care if you're a deity. You're just a giant abomination in her eyes.
Giant abomination, am I? Just who the hell do you think you are talking to? I could erase your puny, judgmental, smug self off the face of existence if I so desired. I've been seen as a ruthless monster by humanity for thousands of lifetimes just because I'm not some soft-spoken serene babe or some gruff and tough ass-kicker. I have to take some gaudy, true form just so humanity won't piss themselves and form a mob by the mere sight of me. Yet despite all of that, I continue to protect the lives of everyone in this world. I look past their judgmental hearts, swallow my petty and bitter feelings of them, and I vanquish threats like the Overlord of Evil or soon-to-be Melinda. Why? Because as a guardian deity, it isn't my duty to make sure humanity likes me. It's my duty to make sure they are safe from the true abominations that exist in this world.
Let's start acting like a guardian deity. I'll be honest, I don't know what to say to you. I honestly don't remember the last time I fought. Destroy them, please. I am not your opponent. That was way too simple. This, on the other hand... Much like Kai, you rely too much on others to fight. Without those fairies to back you up, that dragon would have killed you. You are correct, but that is the beauty of teamwork. You cannot do everything on your own, and what of the times you do not have anyone to help you? You need to be strong enough to hold your own without anyone's help. Well, I apologize, Melissa, but I am not a lone wolf like you are. Kai, Chen, and my fairies all form the core of my team. If I find myself in a position where I am all alone, I shall avoid any dangerous situations. I am not a fighter. I am an observer. Well, you better toughen up quickly, because you're going to be fighting for your life and the lives of your little team very soon. Is this really the best Melissa has got? I hope that's not the best you can do. Portals of Darkness should make this interesting. You should have been paying more attention, because ever since those 3 monsters appeared, I've been building up a rune high in the sky just in case she released a truly tough monster. You do not qualify, but I couldn't afford it to go to waste. From one spellcaster to another, I am rather impressed with your abilities. Thank you. But you are extremely flashy, which draws too much attention to yourself. Melinda isn't going to give you the opportunity to set up those runes, and if you think you could pull off any sort of stealth, Then get real. I need no stealth when I can defeat monstrous abominations with ease. Well, Melinda is more horrifying than any creature you will ever face in your life. Alright, here we go. Damn it! Time to take this to the next level. Speaking of next level... Crap, and Buzzsaw Serpent isn't going to be of much use on a floating platform. Wait, I can just fight fire with fire. Hey Liz, it's been a long time. How are things at the Dragon Shrine? Hate to sound like Kai here, but I wish we were meeting on better terms here. I need your help in a dragon fight. Come on, Liz, I know you want to play and all, but this is extremely important that you help me here. Come on, Liz, don't be a pain in the ass. See? That's what I was talking about, buddy. Wow, Liz, that was hardcore. Oh, you should know Liz is the master of wind, so your icy tornadoes don't mean shit. That was close, thanks Liz. Liz, what are you doing? You're making me sick. Wow, Liz, that was brutal. Oh shit. Just like Eleanor, you rely too much on others, except you are far weaker than she is. Stay out of this, lizard. Melissa, that's my pet dragon, come on. It's a worthless lizard, all things considered, because you need to be able to fight on your own. Hell, you have trouble just not dying on your own. No wonder you always hang out with a vampire and a demon. Melissa, you're even weaker than Betty is. If all you can do is throw bombs or shoot them out of a weapon, you don't stand a chance against Melinda. I know I'm not that strong, Melissa. This isn't news to me. But I get through with quick and clever thinking, which Melinda thrives on. If you think you can trump Melinda in a battle of wits, then your brain is even more pathetic than your brawn. What? You broke through? Please don't! She's just playing the role of an evil apprentice and giving brutally honest criticism so we don't get killed. As I was saying, you need to vastly improve your physical prowess. Now then, it's time. Well, the moment of truth has come. Unfortunately, not all of you are ready to fight Melinda. No shit. But that does not mean you aren't ready to face Melinda. Well, honestly, in my eyes, none of us are truly ready to face her. But as a group taking that gamble, I suppose we are indeed ready. Alright, Keitrin. I need your help opening the portal to Melinda's realm. We must surround everyone here with a seal as we do so. And that should give us enough protection and leeway to enter the portal without Melinda escaping. Good, you're thinking like Melinda now. You are not easy to get a compliment from. Hey, that's a kick-ass dragon. Thanks, his name is Liz. Stay focused, because the moment the portal opens, we need to go through it as quickly as possible. Alright, here we go. This opportunity couldn't be any more ideal. With all of the Guardians on a suicide mission to fight Melinda, there is nobody around to monitor the state of the planet, and more importantly, protect any seals. That means it's time for a little family reunion.